When Seok-ryu found out he had stomach cancer, she couldn't believe it. She felt like she hadn't slept enough, she hadn't eaten regularly, she was also too stressed. When she looked out the window, the sky was very bright, and at that time she was 30 years old. Seok-ryu was shocked when she found out that the hospital she went to was the hospital where Sang-hyu's father worked. She didn't realize it because at that time she was panicking. Then the doctor explained the results of her test. And when she left the hospital, Hyun-jun was waiting for her. He was very worried about Seok-ryu. Then Sang-hyo also came. He was also very worried and curious about Seok-ryu's illness. But Seok-ryu didn't tell him the truth, she just said she was fine. They both invited Seok-ryu to go home together, and Seok-ryu didn't care who she would go home with. But then she decided to go home with Sang-hyo because their houses were in the same direction. Back when she was in the US, Seok-ryu told Hyun-jun that she had stomach cancer. She was very scared and Hyun-jun would help her so she could recover. Hyun-jun will also apply for leave with Seok-ryu, so he can accompany Seok-ryu.
내가 네 옆에 있을 거야.
When Seok-ryu wanted to tell her mother by phone, she didn't tell her, she only told her that she couldn't make calls for a while. She gave the reason that she was starting a very important new project. Her mother felt that her work was more important, so she wouldn't bother her. Her mother only reminded her not to be late for meals and to take care of her health. Seok-ryu could only hold back her tears and hung up the phone. She intended to tell her family when she recovered. When they arrived, Sang-hyo opened the car door for Seok-ryu. She felt strange because Sang-hyo had never done that before. This princess-like treatment felt strange, but Sang-hyo did that because Hyun-jun was like that to Seok-ryu. Sang-hyo played baseball because he was disappointed with Seok-ryu's attitude. Then Moim came and she joined in. She was curious about Sang-hyo's different attitude. Was it because of Seok-ryu? Sang-hyo explains that Seok-ryu went to the hospital with Hyun-jun and not with him. Moim is curious why Seok-ryu chose Hyun-jun at that time. Should Moim interfere? But Sang-hyo asked her to forget it even though his feelings were chaotic because he felt jealous. Actually, Sang-hyo wanted to know why Seok-ryu and Hyun-jun's relationship ended, but he couldn't ask because he felt their relationship was over. There was a gap between Seok-ryu and himself, and there was also Hyun-jun in it. There was a part of Seok-ryu that he didn't know. Moim understood what Sang-hyo felt and asked him to stay enthusiastic and not give up. No one cares about Seok-ryu, and her mother won't forbid her from taking cooking classes. It's something they do to survive, and it's a great hobby. Her mother also won't force her to go to the US again, but to find a job here. Seok-ryu can relax for a while, but she has a lot of experience, so think about the future. But Seok-ryu feels that her future is cooking. She's not lost and her path is right. She runs here and there, but finally finds her way. Her mother feels that her advice is not being listened to anymore.
왜 이렇게 늦게 나와?
Sang-hyo is already waiting for Seok-ryu in front of the house. He heard Seok-ryu arguing with her mother again. Then Sang-hyo invites her to eat. Sang-hyo feels Seok-ryu is messy like porridge, so he chooses that breakfast. And when Seok-ryu tastes it, she likes it because it tastes very delicious. Sang-hyo knows that and he will not choose a place carelessly. Seok-ryu eats it greedily until it is finished. But suddenly her stomach has a problem and she will go to the bathroom. In the toilet, she feels a stomachache because she eats too fast. And she experiences dumping syndrome again. Sang-hyo waits for Seok-ryu and gives her the bag. He also gives various medicines for Seok-ryu. Drink according to the symptoms experienced by Seok-ryu.
많이 드셨네, 바보가.
After Seok-ryu finishes the cooking class, Hyun-jun is already waiting for her. Hyun-jun feels Seok-ryu's smile is very sweet, like before. Seok-ryu is smart, positive and full of energy. Then Hyun-jun gives a brochure about a cooking school in the US. And inside there is also Seok-ryu's engagement ring that he left behind. He asks Seok-ryu to start over again. And at that time Seok-ryu wears the ring. Seok-ryu gives Sang-hyo ice cream and they chat together. Suddenly Seok-ryu says that Hyun-jun proposed her. Hearing that, Sang-hyo feels annoyed with Hyun-jun. Seok-ryu thinks that when he proposed to her the second time, maybe it wasn't too late. He keeps bringing her to the happy times. Seok-ryu also remembers all the forgotten memories. Even though Sang-hyo is here now and even though Sang-hyo confessed his feelings. That's why Seok-ryu went with him and not with Sang-hyo. Seok-ryu thinks that a person is most fragile and honest when they are sick. Unconsciously, she wants to lean on Hyun-jun. For her, Sang-hyo just childhood friend and successful son of her mother's friend. Sang-hyo feels Seok-ryu is very cruel. How could she make Sang-hyo speechless? It doesn't matter if he's not the one, but don't teach him about his feelings. No matter how much he likes Seok-ryu, she has no right to do that. There is a problem with the project that Sang-hyo and the team are working on. They have to stop the construction because the district office has complained. Although they had previously received approval, there are neighbors who protested. That means they have to start from the beginning again. While they were looking for proof of approval, one of the staff lost the proof. He had looked for it in various places, but couldn't find it. Myung-woo was very angry because of that and Sang-hyo calmed him down. And Sang-hyo asked the staff to find the answer the mistake he made.
미치겠다 진짜.
Mrs. Misak sees Sang-hyo and invites him to eat at her house. Sang-hyo apologizes for not telling her about Seok-ryu. Because Seok-ryu is really serious, Sang-hyo asks her to give Seok-ryu some leeway. Mrs. Misak didn't answer it. She was going to leave because there was a community meeting. She asked Sang-hyo to finish his food. While he was eating, suddenly Seok-ryu came. He didn't know that Seok-ryu was at home. When Seok-ryu saw milk in the refrigerator, she asked Sang-hyo to throw away the milk that he saved. She would have answered it earlier, that for her, Sang-hyo was just a friend. She apologized and couldn't reconsider. Seok-ryu thought they would be awkward for a few days, but it would get better. Their friendship wouldn't be destroyed that easily because of something like that. But Sang-hyo thought there was no more friendship. It turned out that when Seok-ryu saw Hyun-jun it was like he was kissing another woman. They weren't kissing, but Hyun-jun was putting on her contact lenses. Hyun-jun was embarrassed because Seok-ryu appeared like that in front of his friends. As his fiancé, Seok-ryu should have understood his perspective. But as his sick fiancé, Hyun-jun just wanted to party. He didn't care about Seok-ryu's feelings. But Hyun-jun feels that he has sacrificed a lot when Seok-ryu is sick. He took care of her and his life was put on hold because he couldn't spend time with his friends. But suddenly Seok-ryu became depressed. Her treatment is over but now Seok-ryu is not herself. She is not Seok-ryu that Hyun-jun knew. Seok-ryu feels like she has just witnessed their downfall. And when Hyun-jun gave her another ring, Sok-ryu felt that the ring was too big. They could have fixed the ring, but not their relationship. Hyung-jun apologized for what happened in the past. But Sok-ryu felt that he didn't need to apologize. Because it was too heavy for her, she was worried that the incident would happen again. She also hasn't fully recovered from always being close to death. Therefore, she doesn't need love anymore. The rest of her stomach can barely digest her dreams. The staff gave Sang-hyo a resignation letter because he felt he hadn't found an answer. Then Myung-woo took the letter and burned it. It turned out that they had resolved their problems. Sang-hyo thought the staff was an important member of the Atelier Inn. For them, he is more important than profit and loss. Make sure to learn from the mistake, face the challenge and find the right answer. They think Sang-hyo is very cool. But Nayeon sees eye bags and Sang-hyo looks pale. But Sang-hyo feels fine until when he stands up, he almost falls. While sleeping at home, Sang-hyo dreams of his mother living with a man. Then Sok-ryu comes and calms him down. She's always there when Sang-hyo needs someone. Then Sang-hyo wakes up and sees his mother there. When he wakes up again, he sees Sok-ryu beside him. Finally, Sang-hyo wakes up and sees Sok-ryu sleeping there. Sang-hyo thinks Sok-ryu is always there when he is sick. Then Sok-ryu wakes up and asks if Sang-hyo is getting better. Sang-hyo felt unhappy because Sok-ryu entered his room. It turned out that Myung-woo told him that Sang-hyo almost fainted. Then he went to Sang-hyo's house, but no one opened the door. That's why she was in Sang-hyo's room. She was angry because Sang-hyo didn't contact her when he was sick. Sang-hyo emphasized that he wouldn't contact her again. No matter what the reason, he wouldn't contact her again. But even if he broke up, at least eat first. Sok-ryu looked for food in the refrigerator, but the refrigerator was empty. And when Sang-hyo took Sok-ryu's bag, he saw a document from the hospital. He was shocked when he read the diagnosis of Sok-ryu's illness. Then Sok-ryu returned to the room and saw Sang-hyo reading her diagnosis. Sang-hyo looked angry and asked what did it mean. That's why Sok-ryu didn't want to tell Sang-hyo that she used to be sick, but now she's fine. Sang-hyo was very sad to know that why Sok-ryu didn't tell him. Does he mean nothing as a friend? Sok-ryu just doesn't want to burden him. When Sok-ryu is about to leave, Sang-hyo take her hand. He can't wait any longer. How could Sok-ryu do that to him? How long is she going to delay this? How long is she going to hide it? How can she experience it without telling anyone? Because stomach cancer surgery is serious. And at that time Sok-ryu's mother and Sang-hyo's mother came and heard that. Mrs. Misak asked who had stomach cancer. Sok-ryu could only cry and her mother hugged her. Honestly, Sok-ryu wanted to tell Sang-hyo first. If she did, would the cancer seem like no big deal? Could she forget and get back up? She was serious when she said she wanted to leave.
살고 싶었다.